All right. So it's really a pleasure being here. As Ami mentioned, myself, Srini, and Tammy are traveling from the US, and we've been here since Saturday. Had a lot of customer meetings, and we are WhatsApping our partners, spouses, wives, husbands over the last few days, every few hours, sending pictures from the beach. Everything is calm. Went to Dizengoff, took pictures. See, the bars are active. It's very lively, to kind of reassure them. But it's really an honor to be here. I was telling Ami and Oshrat earlier, I've been traveling to Israel for the last 20 plus years. I just checked. My first visit, I think, was 2002 or 2003, if I remember correctly. I was with a company called Veritas Software. I don't know if you guys heard of that company. Unfortunately, it got acquired by Symantec, and then again came out and became Veritas. But the reason I traveled to Tel Aviv at that time was to acquire a company called Precise Software. Okay, Precise Software used to do debugging tools, SQL debugging tools for Oracle and a bunch of other databases. That was my very first visit to Tel Aviv. And then I was part of Mercury Interactive, and 600, 700 people worked in Yehud. So I used to travel every quarter almost to Yehud and to, obviously, Israel. So I've traveled around, had the opportunity to see this wonderful country, and it's always a pleasure to be here. So thank you, and thank you for joining us today. So what I'm going to talk about is I'm going to take about 15 minutes, but before I get started, I want to ask a question. How many people here are existing customers of Aerospike? Okay. How many people are not customers of Aerospike but know what Aerospike does? Okay. Who's here for wine? And the food? Okay, great. So what I'm going to do is, since there are a bunch of people who are not really familiar with Aerospike, just humor me, all the customers who are in the audience, for the first few slides, because I'm going to do a quick run through what Aerospike is all about. So if this works, apparently it doesn't. Okay. Again, we are a global company. This is a bunch of logos here, so we are real. We have a lot of customers. A bunch of them raised their hand here. But we are across multiple verticals. Financial services, ad tech is where we got started. When Srini founded the company along with Brian, ad tech was kind of the initial focus of the company. But beyond that, we've gone into financial services, e-commerce, telecom, and healthcare too. So it's not just a organization which is selling to specific vertical like ad tech, but we've actually diversified into a bunch of other verticals too. The folks from AppsFlyer are probably wondering why I'm using the old logo of AppsFlyer. So pardon, we have the real logo coming in a minute. But we are spread across the globe, obviously headquartered in Mountain View, office here, sales, marketing, and also R&D in Israel. Also SRE team here in Israel that is available. And we have a bunch of products that we sell, but very simply, to remember what Aerospike is all about, we provide a real-time data platform. Okay, that's basically the reason why we exist. This is a pretty busy slide, so I'm going to try to build it. We started as a key value database, a NoSQL key value database. And over the years, we have extended the models that we support. We supported document a year and a half back. Last year, we supported graph, and now we're supporting vector. So our strategy is actually to develop and provide a multi-model database which is built on the same foundation. And I'll talk in a minute about what that does. So the data models are actually sitting on a set of real-time services that you can see out there, whether that's dynamic data distribution, query and search, change data notification, so on and so forth. And all of it is actually built on a really high-performance storage engine. It started with our patented HMA, or hybrid memory architecture. I'll talk about that in a minute. But over time, We've obviously added support for other storage models like in-memory, all-flash, and now with the latest set of releases, we also support NVMe compatible cloud block storage and network attached storage. So the idea here is that not every one of your workloads needs sub-millisecond responses. In cases where you can actually have a more relaxed response, say a few seconds or multiples of seconds, you can actually make sure the data is sitting on an appropriately, cost media, if you will. So, obviously hybrid memory is going to give you the best performance. All flash will give you a great TCO with a little bit of a hit on performance, not much, but a little bit. But not all of your kind of workloads need to be stored on an HMA kind of an architecture. And then we support our clients, which are across different languages and APIs, so that you can build your applications. This is the heart of what we do. A multi-model, multi-cloud database that runs on AWS, Azure, GCP. You can run it on premises. It can be running using Kubernetes, OpenShift, you name it. So really a multi-model, multi-cloud database that extends itself then with a bunch of connectors, because ultimately a database has to store data. So you have to get the data from somewhere. So we have connectors so that you can ingest data at a very high speed and store it in the database. And once the data is in the database, you want to do some processing with it, right? You want to run some analytics with it. You want to make some decisions based on the data, and that's why we have connectors on the other end. So there's source connectors and there's sink connectors. So that's the platform. That's the Aerospike real-time data platform. The heart is the database, and then a bunch of connectors that help you ingest data and then process data that is sitting in the database. We take a lot of pride and a lot of care to make sure that everything we put out there is designed to thrive. So what do I mean by that? I talked about hybrid memory architecture, whether it's active-active replication so that you can have strong consistency if you need for your application, or you can have disaster recovery scenarios with cross data center replication, or XDR as we call it. There's dynamic cluster management. I'm not going to go through the entire architecture, but just quickly talking about the attributes of the core database platform. I'll touch a little bit on this. This slide really talks to what HMA is about and the invention. This is a patented invention, and this is what made Aerospike in the early days. It's very simple, but it's beautiful in terms of the implementation, because the premise is store indexes in memory and data on SSDs. And if you can do that and still deliver near memory performance, you just change the game. Because memory is the most expensive piece of media you can store data on. And sometimes people do store data in memory because it's the fastest way to access data. But what if you can actually store it on SSDs and get near memory performance? So if memory costing you $10 per terabyte, SSD is probably costing you $1. It just changed the game significantly. And that's what HMA is, indexes in memory and all the data on SSDs. So when the company was founded, it took a bet because SSDs were really new at that time. And they had huge issues with mean time between failure, mean time MTTR, and so on and so forth. But the bet actually took off. Now, as you saw in the previous slide, we obviously extended HMA to support all flash, in-memory, other storage models, NVMe attached block storage, and so on and so forth. But this is how on the left side, HMA works versus if you're using any other database that goes through a file system, buffers, and so on and so forth. This is a patented, there's a paper that Srini and team have written on this. So if you're interested in understanding this, there's a detailed paper on this. The other beautiful thing that comes out of that is significant cost savings. Significant cost savings. Because now with HMA, since you're putting all the data on SSDs, you can attach a lot more data per node or per instance. So for the same amount of data in a cluster, let's just say in this case 20 terabytes or what have you, you don't need as many nodes. In this example, we can do the same performance in 1/6 of the nodes than any other database on the planet. So in 16% of the nodes vis-a-vis anybody else out there, you can get the same performance and the same low latency. Pretty significant game changer. So that's what HMA lets you do, right? But we've all obviously extended it to other storage models, because as we've talked to customers, not every one of their applications needs sub-millisecond responses. So we want to make sure you're able to match the money you're spending to what the application needs are. So what's our promise to our customers? There's 4 underlying principles. And this lends across all the models that I talked about: key value, document, graph, and vector. The first thing is we want to provide the industry's lowest latency data platform. We benchmarked it across the board, and we can stand by that claim. The second is highly available, because a lot of the customers here, pretty much every one of our customers, is running mission-critical, customer-facing, revenue-generating services on Aerospike. The database cannot go down. So we put a lot of effort in making sure that the uptime is really high. I talked about TCO. It's an amazing TCO argument because of the HMA architecture. And the last thing is we do really, really well at handling data at scale. And our claim to fame is really performance at scale, but we also want to make sure that we can support you in your journey wherever you are. So you can start small and then never have to re-platform. I know a lot of people here start their journey with one database, and as you become successful and you have more data needs and more availability and more performance needs, you have to re-platform. You will never have to re-platform with Aerospike, no matter where you are. So we call it, basically, we support aspirational scale. Okay? Some of the use cases that we power, so over the years, there are a repeatable set of use cases that we power. So recommendation engines, fraud, we get used across e-commerce, financial services, bunch of other verticals and applications on fraud use cases. Feature stores, you can read through that. And with AI coming out, we see a lot more RAG-based applications, semantic search being actually powered on Aerospike. But these are some of the use cases that we see there repeatable on Aerospike. So with that, that was just a quick brief kind of overview of Aerospike. There's a lot of interest, obviously, with the advent of AI on really using Aerospike and data platforms for AI. Because the fundamental, food for AI is essentially data. Right? More data begets better AI. More data begets better context, more context. And more data actually begets more accuracy in your AI-driven predictions. So data is essentially the bloodline of AI and AI-based applications. We believe it's not just any data, it's really real-time data. And you can see here, real-time data is growing at almost 30% of all data that has been created by us and consumed. So we think as AI matures, we are in the very first innings of AI. As newer applications are being built on AI and existing ones are being modernized, they're going to demand not just AI, but real-time AI, which is actually going to increase the demand for real-time data. This is what Aerospike was built for from day one. There's very few, if any, platforms out there that can help you handle data in a real-time fashion and build real-time AI apps. So we are investing a lot in this area going forward. There's a couple of slides from Merv Adrian, who used to be an analyst at Gartner, now retired. He did a bunch of study, but this is a TCS study which is talking about where are companies in AI. I won't read the numbers, but it's fairly early. I think we are in the very early innings of AI, as I mentioned earlier. But this is an interesting slide that came from Merv and Sean. And they surveyed companies to really ask them, hey, where are you in your AI journey, and how do you plan to transform your architecture? So here you can see that a lot of people have started adding AI-specific technologies to their existing architecture. But close behind that there are people who are essentially revamping their underlying data infrastructure or data architecture to support AI-based applications. We see that happening more and more as more sophisticated AI applications, more complex AI applications actually start getting built. So our priorities are very simple. There's 3 priorities for us. One is double down on cloud. And in here a little bit about what we mean by that. We want to make sure we always had a managed service product, but we released database as a service on AWS last year. We'll release that on GCP this year. Our graph product will be available as a service on AWS and GCP this year. Vector will be available as a service on AWS and GCP this year. And then slowly next year we'll actually get to Azure. Because that's where the momentum is, that's what you guys are asking us for. Not just supporting managed services on premises, but also having our products being available as a service. The second one is AI. And there are a couple of efforts that we started and products that we've released in the area of AI, Graph and Vector. And Srini will talk a lot more about vectors. And then when Zohar as a service comes up on stage, he'll talk about and he'll show a demo of how we bring this to life. The last piece is really simplify. So as great as Aerospike is, we have feedback from a lot of customers who are sitting here and others who want us to make this easier. So we are putting a lot of effort on simplification in terms of our APIs, our observability and management, so that you have an easier way to understand what may be going on in a cluster or in a distributed cluster, and be able to manage it in easier ways. So this will be an ongoing focus for the company in terms of simplification, okay, across both builders and operators. Whether you're a developer or an operator, we want to make it really easy or easier for you to build and operate the database. This is Graph. I'm just going to touch a couple of slides. This is the high-level architecture of Graph. So Aerospike Graph is really built on Tinkerpop, Apache Tinkerpop. And it's a distributed, disaggregated architecture. So we have separated compute from storage, as you can see. So here's the storage layer, and here's the Aerospike Graph query layer. And it's using Gremlin, which is a standard language, so you can use Gremlin queries and Gremlin-based apps to actually work with Aerospike Graph. Today we support OLTP Graph applications. Next quarter we are supporting OLAP also, so that you will be able to run both analytical queries and transactional queries on Aerospike Graph with all the benefits in terms of the low latency, the performance, the TCO, and the availability. So those 4 things are cornerstones, which will be available and are available with Graph. Vector is similar, and as I said, Srini will go into a lot more detail, but again, we also separated the layers where the vector search itself is a disaggregated layer from the storage layer or the database. So both for Graph and Vector, you can scale the storage and the compute nodes independent of each other. Okay, depending on what your needs are, whether they're compute or more storage that you want to bring in. Srini will go into a lot more detail. And you'll see this in a demo that Zohar does. And it's a great demo, so make sure you're here and pay attention to it. But it starts with a key value where you're looking for a specific shoe in this example. But then using vectors, you want to basically retrieve similar items. So you use similarity search with vectors, and that'll give you the second line in terms of similar items. And then you want to essentially say, hey, people who bought this also bought this. And that's basically a graph search. So what Zohar is going to demonstrate for you is a search that basically runs through and leverages key value, vector, and graph in a single database. Okay, very powerful in terms of what it opens up. So just to conclude, if you need any of these things, basically there's only one game in town, and it's Aerospike. And I wanted to close with basically all the great Israeli customers that we have here. This has the right AppsFlyer logo, right, Victor? Yeah. Okay, so he's blessed it, so thank you so much. Okay.